Hey everyone, today I'm going to be explaining who Emmi Pikler was and what the Pikler-Losey approach is. Okay, so you might be wondering who is Emmi Pikler and what is the Pikler-Losey approach? Well, it was created by Emmi Pikler herself. She was born in Vienna, Austria on January 9th, 1902, and she passed away in Budapest, Hungary on June 6th, 1984. Emmi Pikler was a Hungarian pediatrician who introduced to the world many new theories on infant education. In 1946, she started to run an orphanage for these children and to further conduct her studies. It was called Losey, situated in Budapest. Throughout this experience, it led her to the development of her views on how best to nurture infants physically and mentally. The philosophy of Emmi Pikler was that babies are more than capable of entertaining themselves. She explains that with allowing them the space and the time that they need, they can explore the area that they are in. With toys that they are surrounded by, it allows them to grow their self-esteem and confidence within themselves. Emmi Pikler had 7 key principles. 1. Uninterrupted playtime. 2. Slow down. 3. Build trust. 4. Undivided attention. 5. Free movements. 6. Respect. And 7. With and not to. These 7 key principles demonstrate how she thinks children can further themselves physically and mentally. Number 1. Uninterrupted playtime. This allows the child to really feel in control of their playtime and feel that they are the boss. Number 2. Slow down. It's important to take the time with the child and really slow down and not rush into things, as the child will not feel comfortable with this. 3. Building trust. Building trust is super important when it comes to an educator or even with the parents. It's important that the child can feel that they have that special bond with you because they trust you. 4. Undivided attention. Even if you have multiple children that you are working with or that you have in your care, it's important to have your undivided attention to said child, even just for a couple of moments. It makes the child feel welcome and nurtured. 5. Free movements. It's important that we let the child move freely with themselves to let them discover their own bodies. 6. Respect. It's important to treat the child with respect, as they will follow from your lead and then treat you with respect. And then the last one, 7. With and not to. It is super important to talk with the child and not tell the child to do something, especially when the child is trying to learn something new. It's important to think of the child as an equal and not talk down to them. Also, Dr. Emmi Pikler is the creator of the Pikler Triangle. It can be used for children as young as 6 months all the way through to 4 to 5 years old. The Pikler Triangle really helps to teach very important life skills like pulling up, climbing, gripping onto things, balance, gross motor skills, physical boundaries, and many more. It can also grow with your children as your children are learning, developing, and maturing. Educators and parents use this climbing frame in many different ways, and each child finds their own way to use it with their free movements. That was a picture of the Pikler Triangle. As you can see, children can interpret this frame in many different ways, and it really helps them to develop, as they can't just climb on it or jump or slide on it. They can use this in any way that they feel like it. It really helps to spark the children's imagination and to really expand their thinking. Main questions that we get are, how are the children going to use this? Will they like it? And how will they use this out in the real world? Well, let me ask you this one question. What do toddlers naturally love to do? Climb onto things. They love climbing onto anything that they can put their hands and feet onto, and gripping onto things as well. The Pikler Triangle gives them this safe space to climb, and it teaches them to use their fine and gross motor skills to be aware of their own body and their surroundings, and they will use this when they're in a new environment or even searching through new places in the home. Here in Quebec, the The Pikler approach and the Pikler triangle are used in daycares and in CPEs. Educators think it's very important to use the Pikler approach as it helps the children with their skills socially. It can also help the children to become better aware of their own bodies and surroundings. It can help a child become more autonomous and self-determined when trying to complete a new task. There's a saying that a lot of the educators were thinking: a child who has not received individualized care that fulfills him does not play. While following the Pikler approach, this really helped them to better understand that when a child initiates a game for themselves, that is when they really start to learn. Pikler's main goal was to make sure that the children were healthy in a physical and psychological way. After the research she conducted, she recognized that the main key to achieving this was through creating a secure attachment. As you guys already know, the Pikler triangle. She saw that by giving the child respectful care, especially during the times of bodily care, was one of the main tools for achieving this. If I were an educator myself, I would 100% use the Pikler approach in my group, as well as using the Pikler triangle with the children. I find that with the complete freedom of movement, it gives the child the time to learn for themselves what they like and what they dislike. I also think that it's very important to know the bond between the child and I is a respectful, important, and special one. Especially as the adult caring for them, it's important that I remind them of this. Overall, I think Dr. Emmi Pikler was brilliant and is truly missed. She had a huge impact on all of the development of children. Educators all over the world would have loved to meet her and are so excited that her legacy goes on. Just take a look at this school administrator.
Finally, I'm able to participate in a Pikler training intensive. I didn't imagine that in my lifetime I'd make it to Budapest, so I'm happy that the training came here. One of the most striking comments that was made since I've been here was that movement is the first language of the brain, and that is so on point. And it's through movement that children learn about their environment, that they learn about their bodies, that they develop a sense of balance. And it's really nice to have the theoretical understanding as well as be among colleagues that have an understanding of, what infant care is all about and how capable and competent infants are. I have to say, when I first got here, I was a bit starstruck. Some of the people here, I've read their books, I've used their research in my theses and my research, and what's wonderful is that they're all here collectively as students as well, and learning and gaining information and entirely approachable. And I imagine that a lot of these contacts and professional relationships that are being built upon during this training will last me a lifetime.
As you can see, the school administrator, Tracy, was blown away by the Pikler approach while learning of it in detail at the Pikler conference. Now that she knows in more detail, she can bring her newfound knowledge and apply it into her school. Now we're going to take a look of a little bit of an interview from right in front of the Pikler Institute.
Pedagogy. You have decades of experience, Teresa, yet you are here to learn more. Tell me about that.
Well, the first, I think it's a pleasure, but more than that, I think the most important is, which is the basis, the fundament, something that is very difficult to keep it on. And so I need the specialists in the daily life. They work with the infants, they know, and I need to talk and to learn about them. Yeah.
If you were to define in a few words, what is the Pikler pedagogy, or what are the principles? Would you be able to give me a small summary?
Well, this is very difficult because all the people say respect, and everybody thinks that respect children. But I think it's for that reason we need to come back again and again, because there are words can be empty, or there are very strange, specific care for the infants, and with the movement. For me, the movement of children that can follow these principles parents, professionals, and family in general, there has an harmony in the body, and there's more freedom inside and outside. But it's very difficult to define.
When Dr. Pikler founded the residential nursery in 1946, she broke from the typical way of being with children. Dr. Pikler first made structural and design changes to the residential nursery. She made sure that every room had direct access to the garden, allowing children the many opportunities to sense beauty, discover, experiment, and play outdoors. Dr. Pikler believed that it was optimal when daytime play was complemented with outdoor play.
Thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye!